Welcome to part 3 of How to Double Clutch 101. In this segment, we're going to go over just kind of all the excess, maybe some of the side thoughts that I had that I wanted to put on film, and all the other good stuff. So stay tuned, it should be good. Part 3, here we go. Okay, so obviously in part 1 you guys got to learn, the gauges and the shift patterns and the count, all that kind of good stuff. Now I want to say you can consider this the advanced portion of it, but this is just one aspect that you can learn from. We got to go back to the gauges. So let's go back to the gauge really quick, and I'll be able to explain to you a little bit more as far as what this tip is all about. I'm gonna call it the give and take, or I'll call it leeway, or you can call it variances, or you can call whatever you want to call it, but this is pretty much one segment of the gauges. So let's take a look. Okay, so here we have the gauges. Now here's how the variance works. Okay, now we know that ideally we want to take it all the way up to 15 for that upshift. Okay, now the thing is there's give and take on the truck. You can actually not have to follow that pattern to the T. Now what I mean by that is this: you can upshift at 16 or 17. That's okay. Okay, just like you can upshift at 13, and that's okay. Okay, and the thing is, the 15 is that perfect number for this truck, at least, for it to shift and do great. Now if you're a slow shifter, like you take forever, like clutch, neutral, clutch, shift, and you take long, then basically yeah, you might want to rev it to maybe 16, 17, because by the time that you pop it into gear, the RPM has already dropped. Okay, but whenever you shift at, let's say, 13, you got to be quicker. The reason why is because if the RPM drops, you'll miss the gear, and you'll probably be in a lower gear by that time. Okay, so that's a variance right there. Okay, just like also how ideally we want to wait till about 10 or 11 in order to downshift. Okay, but the thing is we can downshift starting at 12 or 13 if we have to, and those situations usually call for when the dynamics change and you got to stop a little bit quicker and go through the gears a little bit quicker. So you can start your downshift at 12, but what that means is you got to rev it to 17. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the screen what the variances mean. Okay, so this is an idea of what it looks like. So this is an idea of what the variances look like. Okay, so basically what happens is you have almost like this crooked L shape. Okay, I'm gonna put it right here on the screen, and basically what that means is this. Now ideally, once again, you want to rev to 15, right, and then upshift, and you want to lower the RPMs to 10, and then you downshift. But in this situation, what I'm going to show you guys is this: not waiting until you hit that 10. You can actually wait until you hit that 12 RPM, and then you rev to 17. You have to kind of give and take. That's why I named it all those things. You got to give and take, which means if you, let's say you wait too late to downshift, and instead of 10, you're downshifting at 8. Well, instead of revving it to 15 or 17, you're going to rev it to about 13 or 14, give or take. So the whole point is you got to be able to compensate for the situation. If you downshift too soon, you got to compensate. If you downshift too late, you got to compensate. Those kind of things, because the dynamics of shifting change as the situation changes. Maybe you have to stop on stop a little bit quicker than normal, or maybe you just missed it. Maybe you're climbing a hill and you're downshifting and you miss it. I mean, those kind of things happen, especially in the very beginning. So until you got to understand this portion of it. So this is the more advanced, I'll call it, but this is what the idea looks like. I'm gonna try to put it right here, and this is just one more situation in the variances. So I have an example of it, and that's coming up right now. Right now I'm at 63 miles an hour, 8th gear, about to demonstrate the different variances that you can shift at. Primarily, what I'm going to do is I'm going to downshift early, which means I'm going to downshift at a higher RPM. I'm going to start my downshifting at 12 RPM, raise it to above 15, maybe about 16 or 17, and then start downshifting. So right now I'm making my exit. Right now I'm at 12 RPM, downshift. Wait for it to drop. I have my Jake on, 35 mile an hour exit, waiting to my 12, here's 12, downshift. Taking off Jake. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it until I get a little bit closer to the stop sign.
Out of route. Drive left to I-64 or reroute from current location.
Alright, dropping to 12, shift. Dropping to 12, shift. Dropping to 12 again, shift. Come to a complete stop, second gear, and wait for my turn. Okay, so here's an exercise that I typically will have my student do when we're on a long stretch of roads, just a straight stretch of road, and there's no one around, there's no one behind me, and you know, obviously I have a safe distance in front of me. So it's pretty much a technique that I use, and basically we get to around that 55 mark. 55 is a high into 7th gear. And basically we go through the system of upshifting and downshifting. At 55 you upshift to 8 and you climb. And you go a bit faster. Let's say you get to 60, then you drop speed back to 55, and then you start your downshift. So we play that game for a while, upshift to 55, go a little bit faster. Okay, decelerate, stop, slow it down, boom, downshift. Upshift, downshift. So it's one of those things. And the reason why I do that is because one, the higher gears are more forgiving, and two is a lot of times, on a straight stretch of road, we could be going like 200 or 300 miles of a straight stretch of road, and for that 5 or 6 hours, 4, 5 or 6 hours, you're not doing any shifting. And although yes, there's a lot to learn, at one point in time driving straight is just, it's cool, but it's driving straight. And so what happens is normally, especially when you're first starting out, is you'll drive straight for so long, and then you'll get into the thick of the city or into traffic, and you got to start downshifting and upshifting, and you're like, your brain's just gone, and you forget exactly what you're supposed to do, and it's because you haven't done it in quite some time. You've been driving this straight road, for all that time, and so this is just one more way of getting in practice, while the truck is in motion, and giving the student a chance to understand downshifting and upshifting. So here's an example of it. And when it's safe to do so, that's the only time you ever want to do it. Nobody in front of you, straight stretch of road, no traffic, behind you, and everything's safe. All right, enjoy. What I'm about to do is a drill that's gonna be able to let me practice both upshifting and downshifting. Right now, I'm going about 62 miles an hour, give or take. What I'm gonna do is, right now I'm in 8th gear. I'm gonna drop it down to 7th gear using my downshifting. So what I'm going to do is allow my RPMs to drop down to 10, rev it to 15, and then I'm going to put it into 7th gear. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up speed, and I'm going to upshift back to 8th gear. So that's going to be the drill. So right now, dropping down to 10, downshift. Picking up speed, upshift. Stay at 55 miles an hour. Drop to 10. Downshift. Pick up speed, upshift. Last time, drop to 10. Downshift. Pick up speed. Upshift. And that's the drill. Okay, so that concludes it. I figured, this is pretty good information to put out. Shoot, I wish I had this when I was coming up. But in a nutshell, obviously there's so much more to it. Shifting is, you know, a whole different art form, I guess you'd say. You know, there's all kinds of things you can, you know, perfect, but obviously each person has different, you know, different issues or different things that they need to work on, you know, and that's where I hope that, you know, if you have the opportunity to work with the mentor, you know, that they shape you and mold you and help you, you know, to customize what your situation is. You know, maybe, you know, you need drills on how to make it quicker. Maybe you need drills on remembering where the gears are. I mean, you know, from the students that I've trained, every person has a different situation that they're dealing with. That obviously you got to customize the lesson to. But this is just a general overview of what double shifting is, or double clutching is, and I hope it's helped. And of course, if you have any questions, you can holler at me. Obviously, you know, there will be a million opinions, I'm pretty sure, but this is just the one that works for me. It works for this truck, it works for those who I've trained. And if you have some helpful information, obviously you can go ahead and post it. But you know, in essence, the purpose of the videos is to help the driver develop. So if you got some of those, you know, comments, great, post them, love to see them. But yeah, we keeping it positive over here. Alright, man, it's your boy E signing out. This might just be my official last one, but in the meanwhile, you know, just signing out nonetheless, and saying good luck, stay safe, practice, 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 you know, get good at it, you know, have a desire to perfect your skill and to be the best you will possibly be at your job. So that's it, your boy signing out. Catch you later. Peace.